I'm sure the title seems rather interesting, and how I put it together. I took some thought and I had to do a little research, and I had to go back into some of my brothers around the world, and one of my big brothers, who is Tom Leykis. I had to listen to other red pill content just for a little bit with this lesson I'm going to give you today. And I had to go back 10 years from now, believe it or not, in order to gather the facts for you today. Someone asked me in one of my emails if I have created this audio log based on the pandemic, and was I bored, or was I doing it just for clickbait, or is it just because I'm trying to make a name for myself? Well, to be straightforward with you, this was already in the plan way before the pandemic, actually. Even the book was created way before that time. I had plans to excel this information to give unto you. And it just so happened that while I was busy with my business and going around and studying and talking to people, I kept gathering my tools and pieces to give to you. So I never stopped. So no, it has nothing to do with me not having anything else better to do. And it's not because I'm locked down. It's not because I'm stuck in my house. As a matter of fact, I leave my house all the time. And yes, I am always safe at what I do. So that should answer your question. You have a legitimate professor here that is really concerned about you, not for your likes or your clickbait. It is really to set America on a different path. If that were not the case, then I'll be talking about things to entertain you. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to show you something and to teach you. I'm here to contribute to change our mind in the direction in which our westernized civilization is going. So if I fail to do my part, then listen, I have no means to complain. If I'm not doing anything about it, listen, complaining is off of the table. So since I am contributing, then I have every justifiable means to be concerned about the society and the environment, because I'm doing my part. And also, let's go ahead and dive into the studies here. Value. Now, I've heard the comments from women. I've sat down and I listened to them, and I've had personal one-on-one conversations with several of them. I've even spoken with, I guess what they call it now, womanism. And I've also spoken to some men and listened to their complaints and what they've had to say, and evaluated their comments as well. And here's the loophole that I'm going to give to you in the Academy of Wildman, and I'm going to do my best to make it as simple as possible and not long and complex like I usually do, because I don't think it's going to take all that much. If it extends longer, it's because there's more information is beaming unto me, because most times I speak to you from my instincts after I put down a couple of notes to remind me of certain chapters and certain levels to take this conversation. It is all up to me just speaking to you, plain from my wisdom and from my experience. And well, I'm a professor here. I can do that. One of the number one things that we're going to have to evaluate when we talk about value is there is an introverted value and an extroverted value. You have a value that you like about yourself or what you do internally. Then there's a value that other people are capable of seeing or needing from you. You get that? Once upon a time, I watched a movie where this girl was trying to make ice cream and trying to make the best ice cream in the world. And she was actually trying to challenge this baker's shop. And she went to evaluate the baker's shop and to see how they gained it was 5 stars, not 6 stars, but they gained a lot of positive feedback and comments from their customers. And what she noticed was that there was a lot of communication between them and the customers. There was a lot of appreciation. There was a lot of friendship. There was a lot of gatherings. There was a lot of people who had a positive energy and motivation. And so she said, well, I have an idea. So she invited the people that worked at the bread shop over to her mansion, practically. And they sat down at the table and they introduced to her new types of bread and flavors that they wanted to share with her. She was so amazed. She got up from the table and she said, just for a moment. And she left. And they were kind of surprised at the moment and thought that they have offended the girl, that they have embarrassed her or made her feel pretty much upset, all right, or appalled at the situation. When she came back with about 4 or 5 bowls of ice cream that was for the 4 or 5 people that came from the bread makers or the bread shop. And when they sampled her ice cream, they were all blown away, and they stood up from the table and each one of them said, this is amazing. How did you do this? This is the greatest, best tasting ice cream I've ever had in my life. And she said, easy. She closed the lid of the ice cream. She said, I studied what you did. And they said, what was that? She said, I put love and I put what you like. Listen, what you like in this ice cream. The whole time I was trying to make ice cream, I was making ice cream for myself. I know the flavor that I like. I like vanilla or chocolate swirls. I like it this way. But I've been making ice cream for myself all my life. But now that I understand that sometimes you got to make ice cream for someone else so that they can enjoy it as well, that is the key. That was a very, very good lesson for myself. And let that be a lesson unto you as well, because that's going to be the frontliner of this whole conversation. See, what you value, what you think is important to the world may be what you think is important to the world. How you present yourself. Like now we have body shaming. We got this thing called hate language, whatever that is, whatever that comes from. We have a thing where, and talking to the women that I have spoken to and interviewed, they have a perception that men, first of all, they think men are intimidated because they have a degree or several degrees. They think that them being financially stable, going to the colleges, building up their finances where they're able to buy their car. They have this nice, pretty house with picket fences on the side of the corner. To them, they value that, but they think, wait a minute, slow down. I know what you're thinking. This is their words, not mine. This isn't Morpheus' word. This is the interview here. I'm telling you this to show you something. If you don't want to learn, what do I always say? Get out. There's the door right there. No sloths allowed. And instead of them accepting when there's, I'm going to get to the men in just a moment. Slow down. They have a one-sided vision in thinking that this is what it takes to build a relationship, or this is what men want. This is what the opposite sex is interested in when they're meeting at the dinner table face to face and exchanging numbers or trying to get to know each other. And when the man isn't interested and he walks away, just like the girl in the ice cream shop, if you paid attention to what I just gave you, and you apply that, you will begin to understand the lesson on your own. As a matter of fact, I should not need to finish it right now. You should automatically know where this is going to go. I shouldn't be wasting my time. That's why I'm going to make this short and sweet, because I depend on your knowledge and intelligence after this. I made it very simple. And what they will say is, well, he's intimidated, or he can't handle the fact that I make more money than him, or I'm going to be the breadwinner and he doesn't like the position I'm going to be in. And the list goes on from there. And she would continuously say, well, if he don't accept me for who I am, and yes, I'm at a certain age and I still have a lot of juice left over. Well, y'all need to check out that audio I just created for you. I created that audio for you. Check that out. No juice left over for him. That attached to this. And therefore, what happens is she's standing there in her ice cream parlor making ice cream for herself and never given to the idea of what the other partner or person or companion or husband or future boyfriend, whoever they are, if she wants them to be that, really needs from her or what they value. She values that. He does not value that. It's a plus. It is a asset in their life. It could be a good foundation if they want to build a family, but that isn't where he wants it to be. And what she doesn't understand is, just like the woman in the ice cream parlor, the girl, is that she will get so used to having these credentials, so used to being the boss of her, all that she surveyed. She will get to eventually to the point where she's used to being the front runner and having everything and being the one to point the finger and to control whatever is coming and going, where she will actually make herself disabled of being a sensible and healthy companion, because in companionship, I already taught you this, you need to compromise. There has to be some compromise. You have to bring some modesty into your relationship, and you have to come down off of your high horse. So what she will begin to think over time is that her degrees and her ability to shovel in money is going to be of value in his eyes. But not once, hold on, not once, wait a minute, not once did she give way to ask men what they value. Ask men what they want as the flavor of the ice cream. So therefore, what happens is she ends up finding herself, here we go, 33, 36, 38, 42, 52, and no companion. Nobody's there. So instead of her facing the reality that she did not give the customer a chance to put in their request of their tailored ice cream, she decided to make a product and say, here, you're going to take it as is, whether you like it or not. So what ends up happening is the customers, which will be men in the story, will give her a 1 star or no stars at all, but she would give herself a 5 star based on her perception. And then there will be other women doing the same thing that will also give her a 5 star. So they have a circle of what would you call that? Cognitive dissonance, or of purposeful ignorance. Or you can also say no companionship availability, or you can also say a broken vassal. You can also say this makes them in the position of not being compatible to be in a relationship. The only ones, when they have this mindset, now listen carefully, the only ones who will line up for that situation is going to be a blue pill beta who's used to being told what to do. The Ralph in my academy would love to sign up. The dodo bird would love to be chirping in your corner. And the 3 women that I have in this academy will be the I Love Lucy, the Karen, and the Bewitch. She becomes the Bewitch over time. She becomes this girl to make you think that that's magic in their relationship, but it's nothing that he can actually do to contribute into her world that he's not already doing for himself, meaning he can vacuum his own floor, he can cook his own food. All right. He could, what do you call that? He can order or order somebody to come and do his laundry if he wants to, his dry cleaning. If he really needed somebody to watch his kids where there's no mother around, he has healthy daycare centers, probably healthy mentors, healthy people that come around and watch his daughter or his son while he's at work or while he's going around somewhere, as long as there's not a toxic female around. So it's not as if his life is going to disappear like The Color Purple. I brought that to your attention before, like The Color Purple. When Miss Celie left the house, you found out that, I can't remember what his name was, but the guy was sleeping underneath the table with the liquor bottle. That's what movies put into your mind. That's not reality. That's not reality. Reality is when men are there without the woman, he actually does 2 times better because he began to do the tasks on his own, and he finds out it's actually easy. He figures out that bewitched him, and she put a spell on him to make him think that it was magic that she kept the house together, and it's not magic. It's something very simple, and it's a task that both people can do because both of us, we are supposed to be adults, right? It's just things that you do. It's not delegated to one person. It's just that, hey, we both are here in this house. It's a responsibility for the both of us. Whoever get it done, it really don't matter. Just get it done, right? You know, the clothes need to be washed. It don't matter. Just wash the clothes, okay? The dishes are in the sink. It's piling high. You know, somebody's going to have to wash it. You understand? It's not delegated to a female or a man. Both people have the potential to decide who's going to do it one day or who's going to do it the other day, especially the cooking. There are some men out there, and I've tasted some very, very hot, fiery cuisine from men themselves that can make a mean meal, a mean pasta, and put the seasoning on there just right, make you want to jump out of your chair and be like, dude, brother, what did you put in this? Seasoning that I never tasted before. This is amazing. Nothing that I've ever tasted before out of a female's cookbook or out of her cabinet. Men have that potential as well. So therefore, with their talent and their ability to be home chefs, some of them go to culinary art schools. Some of them can put an entree on your table to make you, it will make you want to pay for the food. And they're like, no, you're my guest. But no, do I have to pay for this? do I have to give you a tip? But you know what? It's because men are capable of doing it as well. So therefore, 24 hours, 7 days a week, he's not going to just want you to do the cooking. As a matter of fact, he would do it himself. He might wake up in the morning and flip some pancakes or put some whatever that y'all eat in the morning, eggs, bacon, cheese, and sausage, and you're smelling this food. You're like, wow, what is going on? And then what happens is the kids are running outside. They're playing, right? They already had their bath. They brushed their teeth. And here you are getting up out of bed. Your husband's downstairs in the kitchen with the apron on. Now you'll say, oh, this is a blue pill beta. No, because when you're not there, he's still going to be doing that. And check this out. If you are never there and it's him and his kids, he still is going to be downstairs in front of the stove cooking breakfast or food for himself and his children. And check this out. Let's go further. Even if the children isn't there, nor you, he is still, one way or the other, he's going to go in the kitchen, pull out a frying pan. He's going to get his cookware together, and he's going to get his drying towel, his wash towel. He's going to get ready, and he's going to go in. Do you understand? Now, it may not be a very fast, fancy cuisine. It may not be something that's a 5-star, worthwhile to sell type of eatery because he's just eating it. It's for him and his likeness, but he has the potential. So I'm just going to say that's not magic. It's an equal partnership that it needs to be done. Somebody's going to do it eventually. Either you do it one day, he just might want to do it. It's not something that you're taking points. There's no such thing as a 50-50. Either you do it or you don't do it. You may not feel like doing it one day. So that's okay because I was going to cook something anyway. I have an idea for the day because the daughter wanted to eat something like this, or my son had this type of idea. So I'm going to surprise him and have this dinner cooked for him when he comes home from school or whatever the situation be. So this so-called tit for tat type of idea, it's childish. It's actually very high schoolish, and we are tremendously immature adults today to try to say this belongs to one person or that belongs to the other, because it needs to be done by both parties. Just sometimes one party can do it better than the next. And if that's your niche, do it. If you're better at it, maybe you want to do it because you're good at it. and you know how it needs to be done. You know how the Tupperware needs to be put together. You know how your dry cans need to be put in the cabinet or the cupboard. You know how you want your table to be set. You know how you want your kitchen to be clean. So therefore, maybe you delegate yourself to that task. That doesn't mean that is by your gender. That means you're just good at it, and it can be tit for tat. It can be him or it can be her. You got that. Now let's talk about the men for a moment here. When it comes to value, men value several things, and I'm just going to give you something very basic because it's a wide variety. It's actually an apparatus of so many things. Besides sports, besides cars, besides fascinating things, besides video games or things that are manly, besides outside heavy loads, heavy work, and physical activity. Okay. When it comes to the dating arena or the circle of women, it's very, very simple. It's a complex. Don't get me wrong. It's complex, but it's very simple. The majority of them goes two ways. All right. One of the ways is how good the girl looks. That right there is a majority of men. How does she look? The second of them is not only how does she look, but what type of value, here we go, is the value that she is bringing into the relationship over time. See, the ones who just go by what the girl look like, most times they're going to be an immature blue pill type of dude. Most times this is the guy who will accept practically anything and throw his manhood down an alley somewhere. He don't care where it goes. As long as it goes into the jackpot, he's there. It don't matter. You just close your eyes and just hit that cue ball, and whatever ball goes in, like, oh, whatever, but he has to learn over time through maturity. When he begins to deal with red pill situations, when he begins to have enough experience with the female flesh and her mentality, her energy, and especially when he is receiving the red pill from leaders and professors like myself and others, he is going to seek for so much more. So therefore, now he's going to be seeking for a woman who is not only youthful, beautiful, capable, and attractive, whatever his preference is. Now he's going to be seeking for the woman to support him in his life. The original Adam and Eve-dom story for dummies. Okay. The original thing where you have this woman by your side. But of course, he has to go through the world of hard knocks in order to understand this. And he has to deal with the ups and downs and get the opportunity to filter out his own knowledge to discover himself so he can be the best version of himself to understand who the female flesh is. You got that? So therefore, eventually he will bypass the looks, and then he will start looking about what she can bring into the home. And one of the things that men will always look at, regardless of if he's red pill or blue pill, is what is it that she is putting on the table that's going to either make the relationship or break the relationship. And what it will fall down on, and this works both ways for men and women, it's called, here we go again, compromise. Are we willing to mold at the table? Are we willing to come together as a team and make something happen? You see that? So when it talks to value about what do women want? Now, here we go. Now you are going to be stunned with this, but it's not a surprise. And you would think that I'm playing a game against the women on this. You would think it's, oh, he's just hate women and oh, now he's become a misogynist. I don't want to listen to Morpheus anymore. No, slow down. Listen, as your pretend professor here in this academy, I do my research first before I open up my mouth and insert my shoe. Okay. My size 14s don't taste all that well in my little bitty mouth. You understand? So therefore, I have to get the facts from both sides. And through history, through time, from the beginning of Adam and Eve-dom for dummies, for the kingdom that would never come for dummies, understand this. Okay? Men have been trying to evaluate what women wanted for a long time. There's been plenty of men that would always say, happy wife, happy life. There's been men that wanted to understand and say, well, women want rich men. Women want men with a potential to provide. Women want men who's tall, dark, handsome, have six figures, got a six pack. The list goes on. And of course it changes every now and then, but most times she has a set idea of what type of man that she wants. And so for a long time, men have been trying to provide that. They will work hard. They get their degrees. They'll make their money. And you do realize, if you haven't realized that, I don't know what type of earth and westernized civilization that you've been in, but you need to wake up. Okay. They will immediately find the first fresh female with a fresh, bright smile on her face to get down on one knee. I don't know why the hell he do this. And as a matter of fact, they'll be like, why are you doing this? To introduce himself to her as her blue pill Ralph the dog for the rest of his life. Okay. I know a lot of you mean, oh, that's not true, Morpheus. I'm married. You just hate her because you're not married. Well, you know what? We can have this conversation at a different time. And if I have to tell you in big, bold letters, I would do so, because Morpheus don't shy away from pretty much nothing, especially you. Okay. Because if you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. I don't have a ring on my finger. Let you deal with the consequences. I'm smarter than that. This is by experience, this is by knowledge, and this is by understanding how the way the work works today. Too bad some of us live in a space bubble, in a circle where we think we are invincible to the weakness of the human flesh and the hypergamy machine. Okay, that's your problem, not mine. I'm just telling you exactly what it is, because you decide to get down on one knee and propose your life away and give away all your resources. You end up getting clipped left, right, and in front of your face, and don't care because you think that you are the exception to the rule, because you popular, you famous, or because you 6 feet tall. Okay, she would chop you down like any Johnny Green Giant and make you a 4 foot tall Ralph the dog, like she's done many a men for many of years. As soon as you close your eyes and you turn your back, since you think you so smart, you need to check your smartphone, which I call your dumb phone, and do your research, smarty. So what ends up happening is he ends up trying to do the best that he can to put a smile on her face. Men have been trying to figure out what is the value that women want. They've been doing that. They have been compromising. They've been giving their life resources and their time to make a family and a home. But because of the broken system, because of the rise of liberation, because of the false sense of equality, the list goes on that I'm not going to talk about in this audio. You already know. I do not have to tell you what you know already. You are not a child, and I'm not going to speak to you like one. If you want to act like one, go to a different channel. I'm going to treat you like an adult. Do you get that? You know what's going on in this country. Don't play stupid with Morpheus. You wasn't born yesterday. Basically, because the dog was let out of the canal, or the kennel, as they call it, right? It has been lopsided. There has not been a sense of fairness. And as a matter of fact, men have been disenfranchised for their willingness and ability to try to figure out what women want, or you could say what the woman wants. All right. But because he was gullible, because he was blue pill, because he allowed himself to be a carpet for most women, I did not say all, for most women who only want to get a leg up or need a pedestal, he has been disenfranchised and been taken full advantage of. You got that? Because the value that men understand is the value of logical balance, meaning we have to figure out what we're going to do for tomorrow, what we're going to do for the children, what we are going to do in 10 years advance, in 12 years from now when this child grows up, or 18 years from now when this child is almost nearing an adult. Just because they're 18 don't mean they're an adult. That's just legal age in some countries and towns. Yeah, I said towns. I did say that. Okay. But mentally and physically mature, that's a different story. That requires life's experience. And that parent is still going to be there for their 18 or their 19-year-old child, whether they like it or not. And year to year, those children are getting they're getting much older, and the parents are getting older, and they have to take care of their older child because they haven't had the opportunity to mature, because we're living in degraded, de-evolved times. All right. Do your own research. Go use your sausage fingers, walk down there to a library and figure it out. Stop just tapping on Google. Google don't know everything. Take yourself to a library and pick up a physical book and open it and realize this for yourself. Or you could sit back and look at the magazines. Check out the magazines and the subjects that they talk about. Most things is about what? New devices, technology, how we can be progressive. How can we bring in more autonomy? How can we practically bombard you and your family with more unnecessary information than what you need? You don't need to know everything, and you don't need everything that the world have to offer, because it will bombard you. You have to understand simplicity is magic. Simplicity is magic. We don't comprehend that. I took and I'm going to make this small. I'm going to move on to something else when it comes to simplicity. I took my analog Lexus around a couple of my friends that were driving around in their technically advanced cars that I hate. You know, they want to go out of town. They want to, oh, you know, man, I'm gonna go golfing over here. You know, you want to be a pattern? Nah, I'm good. I don't even want to sit in your car. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be near your plastic heap of human degraded garbage. I'll do it myself. I can drive my own car with simplicity. And it's like, you know, look, man, you know, you can do this with your Lexus, man. You can get these aftermarket parts over here. You know, they got a computer, man. You can put this, what do you call that? This infotainment center, man. You know, it's on the call you a couple of $1,000. I said, no, I'm good. I'm good with my simple radio. I'm good with my automatic windows. I'm good with being able to use my key, my natural key fob. I don't need your start stop system. Save that for somebody who is old and elderly. I'm not old and elderly. I am young. I'm vibrant. I can use my own hands. I appreciate nature. I use my own eyes. I will use my own muscles today where I can't use my muscles. That might be a different story. But until then, I'm going to appreciate what nature gave me, and I'm going to be gratified with the life, and I'm going to appreciate it by using it. You understand? But once I stop using it, then I'm going to be a backwash retard like you who needs computers to think for them. Like, dang, Morpheus, you harsh. Yeah, I'm harsh and I'm real and I'm raw. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. I'll find another friend, somebody who's sensible than you. I'm good. Right? So we go to a park somewhere. I'm going to make this real fast. And we had to pull out, right? And we were done. I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes. Man, we got to get going. I got some other place to be. And I go directly to my Lexus, right? I got the key fob. I was getting ready to push the button. I said, nah, I'm going to use the key. I put the key manually into the hole, unlocked it, boom, the car unlocked, beep, respawn instantly. Took the key, put in the ignition, used my God-given, wrist, my God-given wrist, and turned the car, boom, fired up. There you go. You hear the exhaust, ready to go. He get into his old plastic. I ain't gonna say what type of car he is, because he know who he is. He know who he is. So I'm not going to say the type of car. I'm going to be like, oh, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So he gets into his car, right? He uses his key fob. Beep, beep. I'm like, this dude, little boy. So he get in there. He try to push the start stop system. No response. No response. I'm like, dang, are you okay? Like, oh, man, no. Hold on. So he's sitting here fidgeting underneath the dashboard, trying to figure out batteries right, trying to understand what's going on. Computers start going glitchy, bug here, bug there, right? It's almost like he got to push like 5 or 6 different buttons just to turn his car on. I'm sitting here, my Lexus is already ready to go. It's already rolled up like, you know, if this was an emergency, you will be stuck out here. If there was a Bigfoot or a ravaging bear, I'll be down the street in my analog, simple Lexus, and you in this computerized, complicated car that's going to get you terminated. Internally and externally. Internally, you're terminating yourself because you want to be lazy and have computers think for you. Externally, it's going to get you eventually because it's overly complicated and unnecessary, and it's going to catch up to you eventually because you're making a sacrifice. Whenever you make a sacrifice to use your human superiorities and your faculties for computers, nature is going to make you pay. Let me say that again where you can understand. When you use computers or machines to bypass your physical human ability, you're going to pay the price eventually, because nature is going to take away what it has gave you naturally, because it's going to realize you don't appreciate your nature, and it's going to give you exactly what you want and make you exactly what you make. And that is a computer walking automaton. Do you understand, or do I have to speak it in a different language so you can understand that? So it's going to get you eventually. So like, you know what, dude, I'm out of here. So I end up driving away. Like I get like, I think a quarter mile down the street or something like that. So I get a phone call. I had to pull over to the side by one of the other buddies. Oh yeah, man, he figured out, man, it was this button over here. And, you know, it just started going bad. So we had to go ahead and switch it to a different one. You know, he had to switch his keys around. I'm like, oh my God. Are we that technically stupid today? When cars have been working for a long time with a simple key, if you got a key fob, that might be fine if you want to walk up to the car and dislodge the security system. But when you overcomplicate a thing, you're going to suffer. Don't take Morpheus's word. Don't take it. Don't worry about what the professor's saying. I can guarantee you're going to meet it yourself. One way or the other, you're going to find yourself, if you're not going to be in a ditch somewhere where you can't pull the car out, the car is going to put you in a ditch by putting you on the side of the road, and AAA is going to come to pick you up in your fancy new self-driving car because you can't drive yourself. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I had to go on a rant with that. All right. So getting back to the value of what men was expecting for women, are trying to do the best they can for her. Okay. I know I'm a little off track, but I'm going to get back on what I was saying. That's fine, because I can pick up the pieces from there and I can put this back together. All right. So what ends up happening after he got on his one knees and pretty much giving his whole life away and trying to figure out that it is glitched and it is messed up and it is not valuable for him. Then, of course, I started talking about putting value at the table where both people actually meet each other and say, okay, well, we agreed to be a compromised relationship, meaning we're going to compromise for each other. They used to have an expression years ago, and they said, it's like this: let's go hazard together. Hazard is a very golden word, and I didn't do too much research on it. But when you think about it, when you compromise and you do what you can for your companion or the person that you're with, there's going to be some hazards. There's going to be some good times. There's going to be some struggles, but you have to be willing to compromise for your companion to appease to them. Okay. So getting back to the men's side here, their value is on a totally different place, where all they need, all they want is a loyal, sensible, healthy, young, well-to-do, supporting and providing companion. I am not going to repeat that. All right. I'm not going to repeat it. So these type of things that a lot of modern day women hear from men, or when men are saying that, instead of them evaluating what I just said, if you have to repeat it and make it slow, please do so for some of you who might have sloth in your blood. Okay. They look at that as a form of probably misogyny, or controlling, or putting her back into the kitchen. Because most of that means you're going to have to be at least a balance in a relationship where you are compromising and you are giving unto the powers of the man as the power have been, as men are giving or would be willing to give into the requests or the demands of the female. Because it's not about power. Okay. So over time, check this out. Listen. Over time, it hasn't been about understanding the value of your companion or what they need. It's been about power. Did you hear what I said? It's been about power. It wasn't about understanding what men want, what their values was. It's about power. So let's do our evaluation here. I told you the story. So this girl goes into her mansion. Check this out. And let's just say she makes this ice cream that she likes. Listen. And she makes tons of it. I mean, tons of it. And it's her flavor. She likes it. She gives it a 5-star of herself. And it's all her and her kind, all her female kind around. Oh, this is good ice cream. It's good for us. I love it. Yes, it's wonderful. It tastes good. It's sweet on my tongue. And she says, or they say, okay, let's patent this. Let's sell it. Let's give it to the society and tell them that they're going to like this, whether they like it or not. I don't care because I like the way it tastes. We like the way it tastes. They're going to take it anyway. So what ends up happening is you have if people buy it, but men are waking up now. Men are actually waking up. So I'm not going to say that's going to be in mass forces because men are actually, I'm going to get to that in a moment. I heard your energy. I felt it. Wait a minute. Hold on. I felt your energy. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Let's hold off on that. Okay. So she puts it out there on the market and everything out there in the freezer aisle is what she likes. Hold on. Not what you like or what you prefer. Now we can talk about it, gentlemen. So when you go to the store, you're saying to yourself, okay, I am looking for this such and such a value in woman. What was the list that I just gave you? I told you that's up to you to remember it, write it down and rewrite it if you have to, or slow it down and catch what I just said. And you go to the freezer aisle or the aisles and you look for that. And it's her brand of stuff. It's what she wants you to have. It's her perception of value. So she's there with 5 degrees. She's there with 33 years of going to the corporate jobs, working job to job, day and night, not giving time to her children. Or some of them might have a couple of oops situations where she's a single mom of 2 kids. And now she's saying, here I am. This is what's available for you men. This is the value that I decided for you to accept, not for you to evaluate and say, wait a minute, let's get a different brand, different flavor here. No, it's what they wanted you to have. So what is happening is you're going to the freezer aisle with that ice cream. You're saying, no, I don't like that flavor. No, it makes my stomach hurt, apparently. So no, it's not good for me. It's not good for my manhood. It's not good for my phylum. It's not good for my digestive system. I can't take milk like that, or I'm lactose intolerant, or I can't take milk. Give me almond milk. Give me silk milk. Okay. Give me oat milk. Give me something else besides that. But the girl is like, no. You're going to take it this way. You're going to take it with the ingredients because we like it. So you're going to have to like it. That's called, what's that? Wait a minute. What is it called? Dogma. What's it called? Force. What else is it called? Brainwashing and engineering. What else is that called? Control. What else? The final thing that is called, come on, classroom, is called power and domineering force. That's right. Because if they're saying this is all you got, this is all you can get. But you know what? It goes further than this. Now you're in this shop, right? And you're really hungry now. You're looking for a virtuous, well-to-do, fertile, bright-eyed, capable, smart, funny, and not bitter and not used up, or I ain't gonna go there. Okay. You want something that's well for you now. But you know what? The whole store, 90% of it isn't what you prefer and what's good for your diet as a man. 90% of it will make you sick. 90% of it eventually over time is going to give you diabetes. It's going to give you a heart attack. It's going to make you bald. It's going to take away your testosterone. It's going to make you feel like Ralph the dog. Please don't feel like Ralph the dog in my academy. Don't feel like him. You don't want to feel like that guy. Okay. I stick his nose in his brown piles every day. You don't want to feel like him. I'm always on that dude. You understand? But you will feel like that because 90% of what you need to eat, what you need for your manhood, what you need to evolve your world is what she have preferred for you. And not once did she come to you and sit down and said, hey, customer, hey, here we go. Let me do this. Hey, customer. Hey, John or Joshua. Okay. Or Tom. Okay, I'm gonna call you Tom. Let me tell you what. I'm getting ready to open up a shop. And I have you in mind, and I'm looking forward to a bright future. But I want to make sure that this future is suitable for you. It's suitable for our children that we might have, and it's suitable for practically the both of us. So I was getting ready to make some ice cream, and I was going to put in some flavor, and I want your, let's see. I totally dig this because it's a good idea. Me and my girl talked about this before, and oh God, we're just flipping about it because this is going to be so amazing. It's going to be amazing for you and me. Okay. For us, all of us. And I want you to, tell me what you think it would be best in the ice cream. And if you want us to change ingredients, we can do that. And, I want to make sure that, that it's healthy for you because I want you to be strong. I want you to be the best man that you can be. And I want to make sure that you can actually, it's good for your digestive system. So this is your time. So I'm going to pull out a notepad, and this is what me and the girls were thinking. Okay. So we got our idea here, and if they are going to, take the ice cream, that's fine. It's for them, but tell me what you think. Okay. If you like the flavor, if you like the ingredients, then, we'll do that for you. And then it's going to be available, and whatever other products will be healthy for you and healthy for the future, healthy for the children. Hello. Healthy for, childbearing. Hello. Healthy to, be able to support your home and your life. That way you can have a stable, actually a 2-parent home sounds like a very good idea. Me and the girl was thinking about it, and I really think it's so fascinating for our children that me and you are at home to raise them instead of, some, substitute parents. Hello. So, you tell me what you think, and I am willing to do it because I'm concerned about you, and I want you in my life, and I don't want to wait till the last minute and realize I'm responsible for a tore future. So let me know what you think. Never have that happened, because whenever it occurs, listen, if you ever end up in a situation when that occurs, when she's bumping her hip against your hip, when she is trying to negotiate with you at that level, trust me, when this happens, this is what you're going to constantly see. She's going to be older. She's already going to be 33, 37, 38, 40, 52. Or she's going to already have a child. So now that she's already been in the ice cream shop, giving only her flavor, telling men, either you accept me or you don't accept me. Accept me for who I am. If you don't like it, too bad. And she wasn't willing to procure. Listen to this. Check this out. This is deep. If she wasn't able to procure a stable, fair contract between any other man in her 20s, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and she's 33 and single, 38 and single, what makes you think she's actually there to compromise with you? She's only telling you what you want to hear, because as soon as you say, okay, so I believe you. Okay, I believe you. As soon as you do that, she's going to rip the contract up in your face and say, I got him. I got a blue pill moron on the hook. Come on, girls, let's come get him. And you done for, because here comes the bait and switch. Because now she's like, well, you know, I don't have to honor it. Yeah, I was feeling it that day when I was sitting down telling you about all the good things I would do. Yeah, I was just promising you that because I wanted you to feel like it was legitimately right for you. I wanted you to think that I would actually abide by my promises, so that way I can just get what I want. Now I got what I want, so too bad. You know, 4 or 5 years later, I found another blue pill moron, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to him. And he's going to have to accept my ice cream just the way that I designed it to be given to him, whether he like it or not. And then I'm going to give it to the next blue pill moron who's going to take it until I get to where I want to be at in life. So if I have to use you all as a stepping stone, I will. I'll step on you, then I'll step on him, then I'll step on the next person, because if you know about it, that's fine. There's going to be others who don't, and they will be woefully deceived. Tell me where I'm wrong. Because if it was all about camaraderie, it was all about compassion, if it was all about the value, listen, that was healthy for a future and for America and for families, it requires compromise that is steady. That means there can't be no bait and switch. That means the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. How about that? Huh? How about that? Now we're going to shift this to a more serious topic here, because value has a large apparatus and it's very massive and it expands throughout the universe, because you can probably value practically everything. But when it's all about relationships, according to the women and the men who I have interviewed, I noticed that we value two different things altogether. What I hear from the men is they value, and I know this might come as a surprise to you, but I can only go by what they say. Maybe next time I'll let you listen in to the interview yourself, so you know Morpheus ain't pulling a sheep over your eyes or wool over your eyes. But you should know this already, because you can do your research. You already know this. You just try to pretend like you don't know. Try to play stupid. You can't play stupid here. I wasn't born yesterday. Okay. Men and women today are valuing two different things when it comes to relationship. Women are saying, this is what I value, and whenever you want to value something else, I don't care about what you value. I am going to give you what I value, whether you like it or not, and you're going to have to accept it, whether you like it or not, because this is what I'm going to pour into the society, into your child's life, and into the future of the westernized civilization. Men, on the other hand, we are still valuing a decent, a compromisable, doable team member called a companion, who can come in different shapes and fashions. That means a girlfriend or a wife. Whether it is long-term or short-term, it all depends on the value that she has to offer. It all depends on what type of uplifting that the man is getting from the... See, and let me slow down for a moment here, because sometimes when I'm speaking to these women, they have a bad misconception about money and finances. Men have been making money for years. Men have always went out there to be the breadwinner. And their idea of value was someone to be supportive in a relationship. They was able to put food on the table. It didn't matter to men to go out there and buy the necessities for the home. They just needed somebody to be there and to appreciate their handiwork, and the reverse. So generally, and the exceptions of the rules of those who abused power and was controlling and abusive, we're not talking about them. We're talking about a common, simple, one-on-one adult relationship that's actually working. We're talking about them. Okay. So he didn't use that as a form of power. As a matter of fact, it was a steady relationship, and he would go make the money, come back and come home. But unfortunately, there was a certain party or person in his relationship, such as the female herself, who began to get discontent. She began to get bored. She began to lose her happy juice in the relationship. And you will say, why? How did this happen? Wait a minute. Slow down. You ask a question. How did this happen? Well, let's go back in history. As a little boy and a little girl, okay, boys was pushed back. Boys was always programmed to you just grow up, boy. You work, man up. You never cry. Only punks cry. And why are you playing with dolls? Prick up your lips, pull up your pants. And the boys are always pushed aside as if they have no feelings. They're just as automaton. They can just be talked about, kicked about. It's funny. It's okay because he's a boy. He can handle it. He fall down. He hit his head on the table. You may rub it, but you'll be like, okay, go out about your boy. Boy, stop crying. Go on somewhere. Rough it up. Tough it up. But the girl, here we go. The girl, nurtured, pampered. She scraped her finger. Mom wants to kiss her finger. Put a golden band-aid around it. Daddy wants to put a golden band-aid around it. Grandpa wants to put a golden band-aid around it. Aunties, uncles, grandparents want to come around. Oh, she's so cute. Let me take her around the town. Let me take her to the, what do you call that? The Ferris wheels. Let me take her and just give her cotton candy and pamper her. And I'm going to protect her. I'm going to provide for her. I'm going to give like a retarded animal. Just sitting there. Give. That will be the most irritating sheep that you can ever hear, right? They're in the background, like on the Dumb and Dumber when he was screaming in that guy's ear when they was driving the Shagmobile. You'd be like, shut up, shut up. Give. Shut your mouth. But that's what was going on. So everything was given to her. Every blue pill beta and parents kept pushing her up, pushing the boy down, giving her gifts, giving the boy rocks, thinking that she's made out of sugar and spice and he's made out of sugarless oatmeal. Okay, try that. Some of y'all like it anyway. I don't care. Whatever you put in there, strawberries and berries. But I always think oatmeal is supposed to be with butter, sugar, and cinnamon. I always thought. Okay, whatever you do, that's your business. Some of y'all put bacon in it. Oh my God. If that's what you like, go for it. However, so therefore, over the years, and especially with their growth spurt and the maturity and girls having the ability to catch attention and they growing up real fast. They got curves before they even 15, 16 years old. And the boy's still trying to figure out himself. Actually, he's still shy around that time. He's still trying to figure out the anatomy of the female. Okay. He don't know too much. So there was and still is today a big gap between the man and the woman. And it starts at an early age. It starts from being pampered. So the boy isn't as pampered as the woman. He's made to man up, be a boy, take him camping, go chop wood. I don't care. You splinter your fingers, deal with it. Bleed as far as I'm concerned. I ain't gonna even deal with it. No, he needs to man up. Let him cry. But when the girl screams, everybody come running. Everybody come running. They come out of the bushes. They come jumping out of the clouds. They come popping up from the ground. They come up from behind cars. Like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Where's she at? Let me be there. White knights start coming from all like types of places. Okay, who's hurting her? Where's she at? You know, who's touching you, ma'am? Who's touching you? Who's trying to hurt you? So therefore, the boy, all the while, he's over there in the corner twirling his thumb like, what about me? Poor little boy. He's in there like, what about me? I want some love. I want to be appreciated. I want to get a hug every now and then. I want to be taken around the town. I want to go to the fair. And everybody's like, oh, don't worry about it. Man up. You're a boy. You're a man. You're going to be a man one day. Here he is, 2, 3 years old, 4, 5, right? You know, oh, you're a man, right? Our retard thinking. And so the gap extends. So what happens is boys end up needing, here we go. Here's your facts. Here's your science. Here's what you can figure out yourself. Boys end up needing to learn life the hard way. They end up suffering sometimes. They end up dealing with the code and they end up dealing with being pushed aside, all because he is a boy, or in the eyes of some uneducated people, a man. There you go. And then what happens to her when she has all her blue pill nights, guys getting after her from the age 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 in the school, everywhere she goes, there's always somebody that want to look up her skirt, however you want to put that into play. Right. And so she matures quite fast. And because she has more in her playbook than the men, because men have to work 2 times harder. Here we go. Listen. Because men have to work 2 times harder, sometimes 3 times harder, depending on where you at and what town and city that you're in. He's not going to get as much proceeds, gifts, and appreciations as the girl would. She would get like 5 million likes. He would probably get only a quarter of that. And you'd be like, dang, but he puts out more audio, more videos, more pictures, look better than her, got a 6-pack, got muscle, looking good, but yet there's still more people that give her 1.5 million likes. Why? Because she is a girl. Do you get what I'm saying? Girls will worship a girl, and girly boys, blue pill, will worship a girl. So therefore, that gives her 2 times the double-edged sword. You should know that by your research. And so therefore, what men don't understand, and what a lot of women don't understand in our interview that I was speaking to them, they don't understand they already have an advantage in the marketplace when it comes to dating. They already have the advantage. They are already ahead of the game. So therefore, they feel like this. Well, if he don't act right, there's going to be another blue pill knight who's going to be knocking at the door tomorrow. And it's right. She is absolutely correct. So therefore, she is a rich woman and he's the poor man. So therefore, it's easy for her to say, I'm bored. I'm not happy. I want more. Why? Because she's used to being given more. And therefore, understanding the value of what the boy or what the men want or need is nowhere near her responsibility or her viscera. It's not even in her mind because she's used to be getting the value that she wants out of life. Whatever she wants, she gets. Whatever he wants, he don't get. If he wants it, he have to work 3 times harder. He have to jump hurdles. He have to go through the gauntlet. You know, he got to go to the military, almost get himself shot. You know, he got to play the police officer, get himself in a scuffle. He got to be the judge where he's considered as wrong. He got to be the criminal where he's considered as being put underneath the jail cell. He got to pretend to be somebody that he's not. He got to wear the pants above his belly button and under his belly button. He got to put on the glove, take off the glove, everything, anything possible to do what is necessary in his mind to come up with an idea, or in his mind thinking that this is the value that women want. You get that? Because he tries to do this to try to stand up to the value or to the bar that don't exist, because there's no bar that exists. Now, fortunately, men are realizing there was never a bar to, and I'm getting to it now. Slow down. I'm getting to it right now. They're realizing that that bar never really existed. That story of what do women want never really existed. That idea of, well, you got to be this certain man in order to get into my world never really existed. And I can say it don't exist. It don't exist because the ideal of who they are reaching for is an imaginary man. It's a man that they're not even making themselves valuable to receive. And we're going to get to that in a moment. We're going to get to that in a moment. Because when they talk about accept me for who I am, where I can donkey dunk, I can be this 22-year-old girl who's being shuffled around the world. I got 2 or 3 different kids. I can do whatever I want to, and I'm still going to be valuable for a high value man. She's wrong, because that high value man is looking at different pastures. He's waiting for a girl who is a different flavor in the ice cream shop. He don't want to purchase the 90% of the flowing agents, the high fructose corn syrup, and the lactose intolerant milk that's there in the refrigerator. He don't want that. He wants something else. As a matter of fact, the reason why he survived, the reason why he survived so long and has been healthy and has been able to expand his empire and his finances and his life is because he has not been eating that type of milk. He stayed away from that brand of milk. That's why he have been able to survive. Therefore, what will make anybody in their God-loving mind think that a high-quality man who's been healthy and taking care of himself is going to go into that ice cream shop where 90% of the ice cream that's presented is no good for him? for his value or for his manhood, and definitely for his testosterone, where he end up swallowing blue pills for the rest of his life. He's smarter than that. So he will go somewhere else. Or as a matter of fact, he'll starve. He'll say, you know what? Listen, I will settle for the 10%, which is rare and is expensive and is very few in between, than to be a gullible pig and engulf the 90% that is devalued, poisonous, and no good for my life. I would rather wait and put myself in a position to accept value over quantity. So therefore, the 90% who is saying, I am worth it, come get me, I'm still beautiful and I'm 42, I'm still virtuous and I'm 32 with 4 kids, I'm still available, even though I have divorced, and I broke up with about 200 men before now, but I want you, dumb man, who is of value and quality, to come and get me. You know what the men are saying? Let me think about that. Absolutely not. Hell to the no. Let me spell it for you if I have to, and etch it in the cream of the ice cream. What you do on the outside of it when it's like sweating, or when you have the, what do you call that? You have the frost on the outside of the ice cream tub. Etch it on it if you have to. Absolutely not. No, send it back. Recall it. Recall this brand of ice cream. Send it back, because it's making men sick. There's something in it that's causing us to live a very, very, very short life. And men are waking up and realizing that. And they're saying, no, I don't think so. Even the 22-year-old men are going to that same shop. They're like, okay, I'm looking for a woman. You know how you rub your hand together? Like, you rubbing your palms together. Like, okay, I'm ready. Let me see what I'm going to get. And you look at yourself like, what's this? I'm good. He'll walk right out of the store. And guess what? You got older, wise men, red pill men, and some people around them saying, you know what, dude? You need to check out the ingredients and that stuff. You're right. Walk away from it. Go ahead and get the 10%. And the 22-year-old boy is like, I'm good. I'm not going to even go into that store. And guess what happens? What's going to happen to the shop? What's going to happen to that brand of ice cream? What's going to happen? Are we still going to be saying, you know, I'm going to keep selling it? Forget about you. I'm not going to be concerned about the value that you want. I'm going to keep selling you what I want to give you. I'm not going to be concerned about your requests. I'm not going to ask you what you need. I'm going to give you what I want you to need. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm not going to ask you what you need. I'm going to give you what I want you to need. Because after I give it to you, I'm going to manipulate it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now, let's get to the finality, and I'm going to get off this audio, and I'm going to create another one for you in this academy of wow men. Now, this is concerned of the body itself. Yes, indeed. One of the biggest problems that we have here in the Westernized civilization is a thing called body shaming and accept me for who I am. Well, you know what? It is the land of the free. And let's be honest with you. You can treat yourself however you want to. You can have your own opinion. And, hey, you know, if you want to be 500 pounds, go ahead. If you want to be 100 pounds, that's your business. However, men still have an obligation. They have a free will to tell you no. Do you understand? You can dress however you want to. You can say whatever you want. Just think however you want to think. But when it comes time to get in a relationship and you say, I am worth it, I can be right here in front of you. You're going to accept me for who I am. You know what that dude's going to do? He's going to be like, okay, and walk away. You're gonna walk up to you. You're gonna be right there in front of him, and he's gonna be like, okay, and walk away with the lollipop in his mouth. You know, he's gonna have one hand in his pocket in his church suit, right? In his crease suit, one hand in his pocket, and another hand he's gonna have like a lollipop or something like that, one of those circles. Accept me for who I am. He's gonna be like, okay, and walk away. Okay, and that's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get, because until we understand There is compromise that we need. And what you value don't mean nothing. That's what you value. We have to give and we have to take in the relationship. There's going to need to be compromise where we have to do for each other, for the children. It's going to require us. It's going to require some changes, and it's going to require us to make some adjustments to our own personal life. Because you eat a certain way, that's fine. You live yourself. You live what you need to live at home. You have a lifestyle. You have what you like to drive. You value whatever that is, money. You value vanity, music, or who you are. That's fine. But when you combine yourself with the opposite sex, when you are trying to build a brighter future with another person, you're going to have to hear them out. You don't have a choice. You got to open up your ears and make an adjustment. If you're not willing to compromise because you only value what you think you value and what you think is valuable to you, you're going to fail. Because as you are being stingy, thinking about your own value, guess who's suffering? Guess who's suffering the whole time? And I didn't bring them up just yet, but I'm going to right now. The children. Because you value what you want to value, because you don't want to value camaraderie. You don't want to value compromise because you want to put out there, your brand of ice cream and think every man's going to accept it. Guess what? The children are going to suffer. That's the bottom line. What I do is for children. What I do is for the future, because if we don't get it right, they're going to fail. That was one of my number one audios that I put up there. That was one of my first audios I've created for you. I said, we are going to have to get it right. When we get it right, the children will follow. But because we are mindless when it comes to value, we value vanity, we value money, and we value ourselves. We don't value children and we don't value the future. Guess where the future is going to be? A human race that's going to be extinct. That's your bottom line. Take your pick.